Minor League Baseball is a very important part of small towns, mid-size, and even major cities. In terms of quality, there are varying levels of minor league ballparks. Some are so good they rival at least one major league field. Some, not so much. Let's take a look at the best, worst, and weirdest minor league ballparks, and that's coming up right after this. Hey, let's be real. This summer is gonna be fun, but maybe the wallet has gotten a little thinner. Raycon is on a mission to prove that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg for quality sound and the best features. Whether you're looking for a pair of everyday earbuds, low latency gaming headphones, or a speaker with a battery life that will last all night long, Raycon's has you covered. And they are almost half the cost of other premium brands. You can do the math. I love Raycons for when I'm at the gym and I put my head down and get my sets in and not make eye contact with anyone. My favorite feature is the customized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, and you can take crystal clear phone calls with your Raycons. Plus, they have over 50,000 5-star reviews. So after this video, click the link in the description box below or go to buyraycon.com/5points and get 15% off your Raycon purchase. And you can get 2 years of product protection for just a few bucks. And also they have buy now, pay later options. Again, go to buyraycon.com/5points and get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Thank you, Raycon, for supporting this channel. Opened in 1995, DBAP was built to replace the original Durham Athletic Park, where the movie Bull Durham was filmed. Fun fact, the Snorting Bull, which is in its second iteration, was actually built as a movie prop and wasn't there before the film. This park is absolutely gorgeous, with an intimate backdrop and features such as the Blue Monster in left field. The stadium was renovated in both 2014 and 2023, and they play AAA ball here, not single A, like in the movie. With a bold approach to roof design, this 10,000-seat stadium in Georgia pushes a modern look and feel while retaining classic ballpark features. The stadium has multiple adjacent apartment complexes, swimming pools, and free views of the baseball games. Beyond the left field fence, a retaining wall creates an interesting dugout well, and just a nice ballpark overall. And it's the Gwinnett Stripers, not the Strippers. Those are down in Atlanta. Opened in 1996, Victory Field is one of the rare minor league ballparks that has an upper deck. Touted by many publications as one of the best ballparks in America, its downtown location is a great spot to take in a game. Recent amenities have been added to make it an overall great experience. Victory Field is definitely a winner.
Dad joke.
This ballpark has fantastic interior views of the JFK and Abraham Lincoln bridges. Hold up, no shot that they named both bridges that. Y'all are tripping in Louisville. Spectators enter the stadium through what used to be the Brindley Hardy Company warehouse, which doubles as a concession and shopping area. Fun fact, the mound here is retractable, as the field is also used for soccer and concerts and can easily be converted. Holy Toledo, what a great looking ballpark. This 10,000-seat stadium was opened in the year 2000 and has been a top-rated minor league field since. Located next to the Maumee River and the heart of downtown Toledo, Fifth Third uses classic jewel box architecture combined with modern amenities and features. Also, Fifth Third is the dumbest name for a bank ever. Though this one could be put in the weird category, it's also an amazing AAA level ballpark. What's fun is with its elevation of over 5,100 feet above sea level, you get to see some absolute bombs in the games here.
Right versus right. First pitch hammered, left field, way back, you can tell it goodbye.
You just got flanked by the
Jeremy Barfield nearly hit his face.
The center field has a curved fence area with a hill to make things interesting out there. Additionally, there are Simpsons-themed statues, as the Isotopes are essentially named from the show itself. Great ballpark. I've actually seen this ballpark many times. It's right in the heart of downtown Oklahoma, and its all-brick aesthetic is amazing in person. Opened in 1998, it has a max capacity of 13,066 fans. The entrance to the park is named after Oklahoma Sun Johnny Bench and features a unique plaza and baseball monument to the catcher. Also, where it's located is a great place to go grab a drink and enjoy a stroll by the river, which you hopefully don't stumble into after drinking. Akron isn't exactly a paradise, but this ballpark is a really well done AA level ballpark with a max capacity of just over 7,000. The park was designed by the same architecture firm that brought us Progressive Field, where the Rubber Ducks parent team plays. The two parks share similar dimensions, however, the field in Akron has a well in right center. Beyond the batter's eye is the Canal Square Y, originally built as a YMCA in 1931 and has since been converted into a multi-use property. And all the residents of the building can say it's fun to stay at the Open in 2017, this is just a gorgeous minor league ballpark in Hartford, Connecticut, right on the outskirts of downtown and close to the Connecticut River. I really like the overhanging seats in right field that provide a great view of the field. For a AA level stadium, this is very high quality, complete with a second deck that brings the total capacity of this stadium to just over 6,000. Plus, the naming rights are owned by Dunkin' Donuts, so there has to be a Dunkin' Donuts in there, cause donuts and baseball rock. Another great example of a downtown reclamation/revival, Regents Field was opened in 2013 to rave reviews. Once a rail yard, the original building was converted into an indoor pavilion with concessions and retail space. The dimensions of the field are similar to that of nearby Rickwood Field, the oldest professional ballpark in the United States, or so they claim. And side note, the Birmingham Barons were an original Negro League team, so the name honors that history. The Class A affiliate of the Oakland A's might actually have a much nicer ballpark than the Coliseum. Might? Definitely. This one is interesting as it's actually sandwiched between two major streets in Lansing, creating a unique engineering, execution, and aesthetic. I love the odd outfield dimensions, and the colorful lofts that surround the outfield make this an amazing and interesting minor league ballpark. Plus, I'm willing to bet the plumbing actually works here. A replica of Camden Yards, Lados Field is another solid Class A park that is visible from the highway. Not exactly in a downtown area, I do like how they built a hotel that echoes the B&O warehouse aesthetic. Heck, the youth ballpark behind Lados might actually be the nicest one on this campus, and I'm willing to bet it's the most profitable, as any parent who has taken their kid there for camp knows after missing an arm and a leg to pay for it. Located right on the Savannah River in Augusta, Georgia, SRP Park touches all the bases for a small minor league facility. There's a nearby bridge, on-site apartments, and a gorgeous view of downtown, along with parks, parking, and restaurants on the property. Plus, if someone really gets a hold of one, they can plunk it into the river in right field. And finally, our last best field. Definitely a nicer ballpark than the Coliseum. The A's AAA affiliate stadium might become their temporary stadium in the near future. So new it's not even rendered in Google Maps. Opening day was in 2019 and an incredible upgrade from the awful Cashman Field. Las Vegas Ballpark has 22 suites, 400 club level seats, a center field pool, and several bars. It also has the largest video board in all of the minor leagues at 3,930 square feet. Just a gorgeous ballpark with clean sight lines, thin air, and great atmosphere. And now for the worst minor league ballparks. Opened in 1992, Mirabito is definitely on the bottom of the spectrum for minor league ballparks, especially for a AA level. It's plain and unassuming and right next to an old train yard. The outside of the stadium kind of gives off an old movie theater vibe. And compared to even mid stadiums in the minor leagues, this one is lacking. I don't know how I didn't put this in the weird category, but I guess because it looks so bad from way up here. The outfield dimensions certainly are interesting. It just looks like the field was jammed in here. And the stadium is also adjacent to Everett Memorial Stadium, which also looks awful. But apparently this is where Ken Griffey Jr. hit his first pro home run, and that's probably what's keeping this place from being torn down. This stadium lands on the worst list because it's simply old. It was opened in 1951 and looks every bit its age. Apparently this place draws pretty well for games, but that is hard to mask how archaic the main grandstand looks. On the bright side, at least it isn't located in DTES. Despite all the history of this ballpark, this is where Jackie Robinson took his first steps towards the major leagues. It's a really bad ball field and stadium. It has disjointed architecture, it's next to a swampy, humid river, it has boring dimensions, and if you ask anyone that's ever been there or worked there, it's not all that great a stadium. Still, it is historic as it was opened in 1914. Maybe someday it will get a much needed renovation, because it needs it. Another super old ballpark. This one was opened in 1955 and is showing signs of its age. Its record attendance was in 2007 when Randy Johnson shoved an inning here, but I don't think he destroyed a bird. It just looks stale and is located on the outskirts of Modesto. There's no surrounding environment or appealing charm to it. But hey, they have plenty of parking. Located not too far from Modesto is another very pedestrian Class A ballpark in San Jose. Opened in 1942, Excite Ballpark is tucked into an industrial area, and it seems to be the least appealing venue amid a sports complex that features a skating rink and a driving range. It's probably not an awful field itself, but compared to the level that most Class A teams experience, this one is pretty bad. And I'm talking about Class A. And now, our last worst stadium before we get to the weird ones. It hurts to put this one on the list because I have been to it many, many times. However, it's been the subject of a long-standing feud between the residents of Richmond, the team, and everyone. The structure has been outdated since the early 2000s, prompting the Richmond Braves to leave in 2008. Since then, the Flying Squirrels have occupied the building, and attendance has been great despite the fact that the aging concrete may or may not be structurally sound, and the building is close to being condemned. It has one of the smallest video boards in all of AA, and there isn't going to be any more effort put into it as they now have plans to put in a new ballpark by 2026. The old brutalist architecture of the stadium just looks outdated, and for AA ball, it's just not up to snuff. Weird minor league fields. Not only are the outfield fences weird at Werner Park, but the fence height variation is also strange. In left center, there is this odd intentional peak of the outfield wall that definitely makes the place unique. The ballpark was built specifically because the team needed a place to play while the College World Series comes to town every summer. Not a bad stadium at all, just a little weird. This field was opened in 1997 and the grandstand and main stadium area look amazing. However, in left field, things get pretty weird. In front of the video board, we have this odd well that just juts out from the bullpen with a triangular peak that is a truly bizarre feature in an otherwise normal field. I couldn't find why the outfield wall was shaped like that, so any armchair historians that know, please leave a comment down below. It's not that this field has particularly odd dimensions, it's more so that the stadium is adjacent to an old Amazon-sized warehouse that is actually part of the stadium structure itself. Opened in 2015, CHS Field is one of AAA's newest ballparks, but its architecture is also unique in the fact that it has an SRO porch in right. Pretty big one. I'm sure it's really satisfying for a lefty to plunk one on top of the roof up there and have it roll to the boulevard a mile away. This one honestly could have been put in the best category, but I just love the fact that it has a freaking roller coaster in right field and a go-kart track. Pretty cool. Since it's in Altoona, they had to do something to entertain the locals, and this park covers all the bases. The roller coaster is called the Skyliner, and it's one of those wooden ones that jars you around like a baby being held by Michael J. Fox. Not only does FNB Field have odd dimensions and variable fence heights, it's also located in a tiny little island in Harrisburg, PA on the Susquehanna River. Of course, this makes the field prone to flooding like it did in 2011, but I'm sure it's a nice place to take in a quirky baseball game. And bring a life raft just in case. Okay, I get that this is the AA affiliate of the Red Sox, so you need a green monster, but this layout makes zero sense. It looks like they just glued their own makeshift green monster to the left field fence and called it a day. And just to be dicks to the lefties, they also raised the wall in right field. The stadium is also oddly truncated by the James A. Banks Expo Center, giving the right field a unique but weird look of the back of an old gymnasium. One of my favorite weird dimension ballparks, we have Momentum Bank Ballpark in Midland, Texas. What's more interesting than the curved outfield fences here is the bullpens are completely exposed and visible, and for either the road or home team, they create odd dimensions that the fielders have to contend with. Probably a great little weird place to take in a game. And finally, for our weirdest minor league ballpark. Asheville itself is a pretty weird town, so it's fitting that they would have a weird baseball field. That gets progressively weirder the more you learn about it. The field is oddly shaped, and in the short right field there is a fence that is the same height as the green monster. Okay, not too crazy, except that this used to be a NASCAR series track in 1957, and they used to have stock car races here. Yeah, I don't think any other active minor league stadiums have that claim to fame. I don't know, there might actually be a couple other ones, but I don't have time to look that up. The track was only active for 1 year, but there are still a few echoes of the past in here. Stay weird, Asheville. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.